Today, we're going to talk about a story that honestly sounds like it's pulled from the pages of a science fiction novel, but it is 100% real. It's about a young boy who stood on a global stage in front of the most powerful people in tech and politics and laid out a vision for the future of AI. It's a story about genius, sure, but it's also about a nation's ambition and what the future might just look like.
All right, so to really get this, we have to set the scene. Picture this. The year is 2026, and the entire AI world, everyone, has their eyes glued to one city. We're in New Delhi for the India AI Impact Summit. And look, this is not just another tech conference. This is a huge deal. It's the very first of its kind to be hosted in the Global South. It's a massive statement from India, basically saying, hey, we're here to help shift the center of gravity in the tech world. We're going to be a central player in shaping our collective AI future. And the guest list? It's a straight-up who's who of global power. You've got the CEOs of Google and OpenAI, the president of France, more than 20 other heads of state, and over 500 of the planet's top AI minds. Just think about the sheer concentration of influence and brain power in that one room. It's absolutely staggering. So you have all these titans of industry, these global political leaders on the schedule. Who do you think was the one speaker that stole the show? The one that had everybody buzzing?
Yeah, you see that right. An 8-year-old boy. His name is Ranveer Sakdeva. And he wasn't just there to wave from the audience. He was a keynote speaker, sharing the exact same stage as the people literally building our AI future. And of course, the question on everyone's mind was, how in the world did that happen?
Well, this was no accident. It wasn't some kind of fluke. To really understand how an 8-year-old got a spot like that, we need to rewind the clock and look at the absolutely incredible journey that got him there.
And just look at this timeline. It's not a slow build, it's just an explosion of unbelievable milestones. He starts coding at 3 years old. By 4, NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab is featuring his rocket concept. At 5, he's meeting Tim Cook. By the time he's 6, he's giving TEDx talks addressing the UN. It is an almost unbelievable trajectory.
And here's a number that just puts it all in perspective. When he was only 6, Cambridge assessments found that his knowledge of certain subjects was already on par with an average 14-year-old. So, he wasn't just smart for his age. He was operating on a completely different level.
And this isn't just about public speaking. The kid has serious technical chops to back it up. He's built his own AI chatbot. He has a Google certification in responsible AI, and get this, he's taking a machine learning course from Harvard. This is a kid who isn't just talking the talk, he is absolutely walking the walk.
So Ranveer's personal journey is just extraordinary, but the stage he stood on, that event, is just as important. To really get the full weight of his speech, we need to understand the sheer scale of this summit and what it meant for India's place in the world.
And the scale was just immense. Over 500,000 people, let that sink in. 500,000 people attended the summit and its expo. That tells you everything you need to know about the massive public interest in this tech.
And it wasn't just talk and speeches. We're talking about a staggering $250 billion in AI infrastructure investment being committed. That is a huge injection of capital, aimed right at India's tech ecosystem. Then, on the diplomatic front, there was a major breakthrough. More than 70 countries, 70, came together and signed a landmark agreement on AI governance. And that agreement was called the Delhi Declaration. It was pretty much the summit's crowning achievement. It laid out a roadmap for global AI that centered on inclusion and shared values. Now, geopolitically, this was a huge moment. It positioned India not just as a tech powerhouse, but as a global consensus builder, basically offering a third way in AI governance that's different from what we see from the US and China.
So this brings us to the crucial question. What does an 8-year-old actually say to this kind of audience? Because his speech wasn't just some cute novelty act. It was substantive and, frankly, incredibly sophisticated.
He wove together these really complex themes. First, he drew lines between ancient Indian philosophy and the ethical dilemmas we face with AI today. Then he actually analyzed how different countries are approaching AI development. And to top it off, he showed a real-world demo of a new AI model built in India. This was a serious, heavyweight talk.
But this was his most powerful message. He looked out at this room full of CEOs and presidents and told them that ultimately it's going to be his generation, Gen Alpha, who will be the true changemakers. They're the ones who will have to live with and shape and adapt to all the technology being built right now.
And the impact was immediate.
Right after his keynote, he had personal meetings with arguably the two most influential figures in AI today, Sundar Pichai of Google and Sam Altman of OpenAI. The leaders of the entire industry were paying very close attention.
Okay, so let's tie all of this together. Because Ranveer's story, it's about so much more than just one remarkable kid. He has become a powerful symbol for a nation's ambitions on the world stage.
You see, Ranveer is a symbol of India's incredible potential, and that potential is backed by some seriously powerful numbers. India has the world's largest youth population. 65% of its people are under 35. People of Indian origin already make up 16% of the entire global AI talent pool, and the rate at which people there are picking up AI skills is more than double the global average. He is, quite literally, the human face of these amazing stats.
And this potential isn't just being left to chance. The Indian government is making huge strategic bets. You've got the India AI mission, which is over $1 billion to build out computing power and data platforms. And then you have programs like SOAR, which is already teaching AI skills to over 130,000 students. The goal here is to build an entire ecosystem for the next generation of innovators just like Ranveer.
But it is so important to ground this in reality. For every prodigy like Ranveer, there's a huge gap that still needs to be closed. Because while India produces this incredible world-class talent, right now only about 1 in 10 Indian kids learns how to code. The challenge isn't a lack of potential, it's a challenge of scale.
And that really leaves us with the final critical question. Ranveer Sachdeva is this brilliant, inspiring symbol of what is possible. But can India translate the extraordinary promise of one kid into a tangible reality for a generation of millions? That right there, that is the true test of its AI ambition.